It is said that all disease that exists today can be linked back to dysregulation of the nervous system. And by now, you've probably heard the terms nervous system, sympathetic, fight or flight, parasympathetic, rest and digest being thrown around left, right, and center, right? It's like the word that everyone's using, but what does it actually mean? What is your nervous system? So this is my very disproportionate human being that I drew to illustrate the nervous system, the fact that it has an impact throughout your entire body. So your nervous system, think of it like your subconscious mind. Its job is to do all of those things that you consciously don't think about that keep you alive. The hundreds of thousands of tasks that have to happen without you thinking about it to keep you breathing, to keep your heart beating, to help all your digestive organs do their task of digesting the food. There are so many things that the nervous system is responsible for, and you don't even have to think about it, right? Because if you had to consciously think every second, okay, my heart needs to be beating right now at this pace, okay, and then I also need to be breathing, and then I ate some food, so then it needs to go into my stomach and then into my intestines, it just wouldn't work. So our nervous system does all of that for us. The thing with your nervous system is it's there to protect you. So it's always looking for external stimuli or internal stimuli through the mind to see if there's any danger, right? So as soon as it starts to perceive danger, it wants to protect you. So your nervous system will be like, okay, I'm perceiving danger. And that danger could be simply existing in your mind because you're super stressed out. Maybe you're in your environment's a bit toxic for whatever reason, whether it's a job, relationship, etc. So your mind's quite stressed out. You're creating negative scenarios in your head, creating this really scary place to be in your head, and that your nervous system will think, I'm in danger. It doesn't know the difference between what is imagined and what is real, because that is the power of your mind, right? So as soon as your nervous system starts to perceive danger, it will be like, all right, let me send energy to the big muscle so that we can run away from the danger, and let me increase that heart rate, and then let's just stop all the blood flow to the digestive organs and the reproductive organs, right? So cue all the digestive issues and the reproductive issues we're seeing today. Because your nervous system, if it thinks that you're in danger, it is not going to prioritize those everyday functioning of the body, the healthy digestion, sending blood flow to the reproductive organs. If it thinks you're in danger, it's gonna save all of that energy to protect you from that danger. And this is where we're getting into the modern environment. You know, people just constantly living in a stress state, in a sympathetic fight or flight state. You're just constantly on the go. You've weakened your stress resilience, because likely when you live in a stress state for a long time, you're releasing cortisol, your stress hormone. Cortisol is actually a really, really wonderful hormone that we need to survive and have energy and motivation. But the problem happens is when it's elevated for too long and the signaling is all messed up. So it's not decreasing when it should be decreasing, right? You're tired all day, but then you're wired at night. This is when we then start to see and experience all of these symptoms like digestive issues. So I literally could not eat gluten or dairy for years on end. That was one of the first things that started showing up for me after living in a stress state for years, is I had so many digestive issues and I started fearing food so much. But why do you think the parasympathetic is called rest and digest? It's called rest and digest because your body cannot create stomach acid, it cannot create digestive enzymes, or absorb the nutrients and utilize them properly from your food unless you are in a parasympathetic state, unless you are in rest and digest. So when I took that shift away from fearing the food, fearing the gluten and dairy, of course there is a small component of the gluten and dairy being maybe not the best quality, etc. But there's still going to be millions of people that can have that cup of milk and that piece of bread that's upsetting your stomach. It's not going to upset their stomach. Why? Because of the environment inside of your body. So when I made that shift away from stopping fearing food, which is a stress in itself, just constantly obsessing over what to eat, being scared, thinking it's going to hurt you, and focusing on regulating and building resilience in my nervous system so I can create a safe environment, because I promise you, your body is strong enough to eat whatever you want, and if it's healthy, you're going to get rid of the toxins, and you're going to be able to sleep through the night, and you're going to be able to regenerate, and you'll be absolutely fine. Of course, you still want to be aiming to eat delicious home cooked food most of the time, but life should be allowed with all the pleasures of life, you know, whether that's you want to go eat some fried chicken, some pizza, some ice cream without worrying about it. So that's just a really, really important lesson I learned, that your digestive issues are a result of living in a stress state for a long time, and you want to come back to regulating the nervous system and making it really resilient. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. The drink I'm going to show you how to make is honestly one of the easiest and quickest ways to create that resilience in the nervous system and to help your nervous system regulate and to also put it into a parasympathetic state. So in order to understand why we make this drink and why we have it, I really want you to understand the science behind it, because that's really going to give you motivation to stick to it every day, because you'll feel the profound benefits when you're consistent with this step every single day. And when you understand why you're doing it and the positive effects it has on your body, it's a lot easier to get that motivation to be consistent, right? So I want you to think of yourself as in fact, you are a giant human battery. That's what you are. This is my very quick drawing of a battery, and that's you inside it. You're a human battery. Why are you a human battery? Because in order for your nervous system to do these, all of these tasks without you having to think about it, what happens is you actually have electrical impulses and currents and charges being sent all through your neurons and to the muscle cells to tell it exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And in order for those electrical impulses, this is so important. When you don't have a sufficient amount of electrical impulses going through your body, you start to experience a lot of mental and physical health problems. So this is very, very key. You're a giant human battery, and you need those electrical charges and impulses for your nervous system to do its job properly, for your cells to be able to do the hundreds of thousands of tasks they have to do every single second. And guess what helps with creating those electrical signals, those electrical currents in the body? Electrolytes. Electrolytes are called electrolytes because they carry an electrical charge in the body. And electrolytes are essentially macro minerals like magnesium, potassium, sodium. There's also a few others like calcium. For this drink, we're just going to be focusing on these three. There are a big three. They're very important. They play a huge role, and they must be dissolved in water to be electrolytes and get that real amazing benefit. This is why I'm so passionate about liquid minerals, because years and years ago when I was struggling with high cortisol for such a long time, and I discovered magnesium bicarbonate water, which is the most natural form of magnesium. You know, these days you see it every single kind of supplement possible. Magnesium bicarbonate water is the lesser known. Yes, it's not as easy as popping a pill, but once you get into the rhythm of making it and the actual benefits you get from it, in my opinion, there's really no other superior form. When you're getting these minerals in water, when you're getting them as electrolytes, then what happens is it's in a very bioavailable form. And when you hear the term bioavailability, it just means how easily can your cells utilize and absorb that nutrient that you're giving it, right? So then you can go to a drugstore and get a really cheap magnesium supplement, and you look at the ingredients, and it might be like magnesium oxide that has 4% bioavailability. So it's literally going straight through you. Your cells can barely utilize. You're barely going to get any benefit from that magnesium supplement. So getting these electrolytes, getting these minerals in water puts it in a form which can very easily cross cell membranes and help your cells absorb those minerals and utilize them for the hundreds of thousands of tasks they need to do in order to function properly, in order for you to feel good every day, for you to feel energized, for you to improve your immunity and prevent illness and disease. Another thing that's really important to note is that if you've been through a long period of stress, right, and you feel that your nervous system is dysregulated, it would be very unlikely for you not to be deficient in magnesium. And that's what I found as well, because as soon as you're stressed, magnesium is the anti-stress mineral. As soon as you're stressed, your body's taking nutrients. It needs those nutrients to deal with that level of stress. You're stressed, your body's taking your magnesium stores, it's using your other minerals, and it's just getting depleted, right? And are we replenishing our minerals at the rate that they need to be replenished? So 2 years ago, when I started being really consistent with magnesium bicarbonate water compared to now, I'm a completely different person. And it's not because I have less on my plate and my life has just become magically so much easier. I actually have, compared to then, I was working a job, and yes, I didn't like it, but now I literally am trying to build like multiple, businesses as a solo entrepreneur. And I have a lot on my plate, and I think I'm always kind of behind on where I want to be. But I physically just do not get stressed out about it. Like, I wish I could get stressed out about it, because then maybe I'd be a little bit more efficient, or I'd be like, oh my God, I have to do everything. But what happens is when you actually have replenished your magnesium stores, and it's going to take some time. If you've been stressed for a long time, you got to be consistent every day to replenish those stores, and then also over time to build your body stores. The more magnesium you have in your tissues, the more calm you're going to be, the more regulated you're going to be, the more stress resilient you're going to be. It just takes time. So it's more of a case of, can I commit every day to make myself this drink and drink it? Because I'm replenishing my minerals, I'm replenishing some of the most important nutrients I need to survive, right? They're not unnatural. They're not some like thing that exists out of our body. We're literally made up of these minerals. Magnesium is the second most abundant element inside of your cells. It's literally called the spark of life. Why is it called the spark of life? Because it is so important. It is needed for hundreds of tasks to happen, for hundreds of enzymatic processes to happen. And honestly, this is one of the easiest ways every day to build that resilience in your body to support your nervous system. So let's get into how to make this drink at home. And the first step, of course, is to make magnesium bicarbonate water. It only takes 2 minutes to prep the water, but you do need to wait a few hours for it to be made. But for example, you buy a bottle like this. This is a 1.5 liter bottle of sparkling water I got from the store. Once you've made it, you don't actually drink this much every day. You only need about 100 to 200 ml a day. So make it once a week. Have it in your fridge, and you'll have it for the whole week. So this is a step you have to do once a week, and then you'll have it to make your, I like to call it my mineral elixir, or my cortisol balancing drink that we're going to be making, and it's very simple. So just to show you from A to Z how to make it, you do need sparkling water, because this is how we make magnesium rich water, how it exists in nature. And in nature, the magnesium from, it exists in rocks, marble, stones. So it would just make its way down into rivers, into streams, and then it would react with the CO2, the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And so that's why we need bubbles, because we need the carbon dioxide to react with the magnesium to make magnesium bicarbonate water. The reason I'm pouring some out is because you just want to create, if the water is up to here, you'll see there's a little reaction that goes on. So you just want to create a bit of space for the bubbles, so it doesn't all just come shooting out. But don't worry, it's nothing to fear at all. But a little fun fact for you is there were some researchers in Australia that found that there were these animals living 30 to 50% longer than their neighbors, and they were like, what's going on here? So they did a lot of research, and they realized it was the local springs that these animals were drinking were really high in magnesium bicarbonate. And so magnesium is just this incredible mineral. It's our spark of life. And when we're replenishing it every single day, we're really taking an incredible step, a really incredible preventable step, prevention of disease, prevention of illness, prevention of mental health issues, and just to help our nervous systems feel more regulated and resilient. And in turn, we're going to feel more regulated and resilient in our everyday lives, right? So you've got your water. I know you guys can't see, but I'm just going to keep lifting it up. Water. We've got the magnesium powder. It's super affordable. One of these bags will last you literally 6 months. Some people will last them even longer. So it's even compared to supplements. Yes, of course, you need to get the sparkling water and you need to make it, but it's so worth it, and it is really, really cost effective as well. So I like to take half a teaspoon, and you're going to be quick in this step. You're just pouring it in. You can see there's a little bubbling reaction going on. Quickly closing the lid. That's it. So you've got your sparkling water, you've got your powder. You're gonna shake it for like 30 seconds. Think of it as like a good arm workout. So you're shaking it, shake, 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 do a little dance, say thank you, and just give it a good shake, and then you're gonna put it in the fridge, and then you're gonna forget about it. maybe in an hour or whenever you next remember to open the fridge, maybe you're getting a snack, then you're going to just give it another good shake. If you shake it more, it's just going to dissolve a lot faster. Otherwise, I like to usually make it at night and then it'll be ready the next morning, or just wait a few hours. It can take between 2 to 4 hours. Once the powder is mostly dissolved, you'll know it's ready. So I've popped that in the fridge, and now we're gonna make the actual drink. So presuming that that drink was ready, I actually made this last night. So this is the magnesium bicarbonate water after it's been made, after the powder has been dissolved. Again, all you have to do is just wait a few hours, maybe shake it again in between. Don't stress about it, just leave it. It really is just a 2-minute process. Put the powder in the water, shake it, put it in the fridge, forget about it. That's how it works. I've just got a pint glass of water, a little bit less to have space for the magnesium. Going to take the magnesium bicarbonate water. This is just, again, just a different type of sparkling water that I bought that I made the magnesium with. Just pouring some magnesium in there. That's literally it. That's all I put in. So it's mostly water in there. A little bit goes a long way. You don't need to drink loads and loads every day to feel the benefits. It's more important to be consistent every day. Again, nothing to stress about. If you're not, just get back on it as soon as you can. So now we've got our magnesium in there. I'm going to just take some white sea salt. I usually just do a big pinch with my fingers, but I'm trying to be a little bit more graceful for the video. Getting that salt in there. Next thing we're gonna do is the potassium. So we've done our magnesium, we've done our potassium. We've done the magnesium, we've done the sodium, now we're gonna do the potassium. Ignore the jar for this. It's the powder in it is actually cream of tartar, so it's a baking ingredient that's very affordable, and I think it's literally like a couple of quid that I bought this for like a year ago, and it's still lasting me. And it's very rich in potassium, so it's just like a little hack. And the reason it's lasting me so long is because you just need so little. I don't know if this is focusing or not, but just so little, like 1/8, even less of a teaspoon. I'm gonna put that in there. And then the last thing we're gonna add, which I didn't put on here because it's not an electrolyte, but is some vitamin C. So I just already squeezed half a lemon juice in here. I'm just gonna pour that in. Vitamin C actually helps to increase the absorbability of the minerals, and it also just makes the water taste so much better. And there you go. This is an incredible drink. You're probably gonna feel a boost of energy right after you drink it. You feel more calm after you drink it. It's very nice for your nervous system. It's very relaxing. And if you just make this every day and you have it over time, you're gonna be replenishing your nutrients, your minerals, and you're really gonna feel a difference. Something I like to do, but there's no pressure to do this, is I like to add in also like 1 or 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, because I just like the taste, and apple cider vinegar has lots of benefits and my gut can tolerate it. So that's optional. If you like it and you want to try it, you can. And I also really like these trace mineral drops by Concentrate. So that's just to get a few extra minerals in there. It also has magnesium, sodium, potassium, which aren't trace minerals. So I don't know why it's called that, but yeah, just literally put 3 or 4 drops of this. Again, you don't need to worry about this right now. If you're just doing the magnesium water, a little bit of cream of tartar, and sea salt with some lemon juice, all very affordable ingredients, all very accessible. Once you've got your magnesium, this will last you 6 months to a year. You can make this every day at home, basically. So I hope that was helpful. Please let me know if you guys have any questions or anything else that you want me to make a video on. And enjoy. Cheers.